If you've been following me for any period of time, you'd be forgiven to not know exactly what my area of focus is. Is it making music, marketing it, teaching, drumming, piano? Conventional wisdom says, find a lane, stick to it, get paid for it. Except I tried. And in failing to do so, I think I uncovered the source of my success. I found myself in this very fortunate situation for two primary reasons. Number one, I've been very open-minded to various opportunities as they've been presented to me along the course of my career, which has led to, number two, developing a relatively wide range of skills and abilities that has constructed a relatively unique perspective within my field. My earliest career ambition was to be a professional drummer. Now, the more I pursued that, the more I uncovered the industry surrounding the artists and bands I was working with. And it began to kind of fascinate me. I mean, this was the secret sauce here. So I began studying the music business from an academic standpoint, which is when I first got introduced to the idea of a Renaissance soul from my great friend and mentor, but then music industry career planning professor and former music manager, Gian Fierro.
The Renaissance soul is the individual who chooses variety over specialty.
A Renaissance soul is someone who cannot find joy doing one thing and would rather do many things.
We talked about Mozart, talked about Ben Franklin, and where they are on the spectrum. Mozart was music, and Ben Franklin was an inventor, and he was very inventive. Let's say like Prince. Although Prince got into acting, but there's an affinity between the acting and singing, as most people know. There's this person that does this ad nauseum to the exclusion of all other things, right? And so that's going to be the Mozart. Then you got the Ben Franklin who says, you know what? I do many different things. I have many different interests. And so there's this bell curve that goes, it varies, from on the deep end over here, where you would have Mozart, and then over here, where you have this guy who doesn't seem like he's really focused on one particular thing at all.
Signs that you are probably a Renaissance soul include preferring variety in your life and work over a single-minded focus, gravitating towards growth and evolution, learning as you go basically, rather than strict adherence to a plan. Your sense of success is measured by challenges mastered rather than how high the ladder you climb. Having an always evolving set of interests while friends and family ask you, why can't you stick to one thing? Being accomplished in one or more areas, but feeling trapped when other people have the expectation that you should stick to that one area. As I learned more about the music business, I began to uncover and recognize various areas that I could personally contribute my skill sets. Sure, I could play drums and produce music, but I also knew I could lead a strategy session. I also knew I could lead a boardroom. I also knew I could even teach a classroom setting one day. All those things genuinely looked interesting and fun, and I feel I'd have some FOMO if I didn't actually pursue those to at least a little bit of a degree.
People think that you lack focus, and they think that you don't really have a clear-cut career path because people want to define you. It's too confusing for them. People want to assess you. Okay, you're doctor, lawyer. And why do most people want to be doctor, lawyers, or want to be engineers? Because now you can figure out, boom, that's how much they make. I can quickly categorize you and move on. But tell somebody you're an entrepreneur and they think that's the biggest bunch of crock.
Today, I found myself balancing a nice mix of all three activities: making music, marketing it, and teaching others how to market their own. This is my personal sweet spot. This is what being a Renaissance soul to me has been all about, and why I think it's actually been beneficial for me to get where I am today. I can bring perspectives from all three things, which has allowed me to offer a unique value to anyone I'm working with at any given time.
I look at the music industry and the potentiality of music artists. Most music artists want to be all they can be. They want to grow and evolve. They want to become really good, if not better, if not the best in their field. Well, when it comes to people want the same thing. They want to be good at what they do. They want to be the best in their field if they can. So what we got to do is recognize that, hey, where am I at right now in terms of my potential? Instead of focusing on success, which I think that's a mistake and that happens so often, what are the barriers to growth? Because if we focus on growth in the process, it doesn't matter if we go from here to here, because there's going to be barriers. Or if we go up and around and down, and then we end up here. The fact is that success always, for everyone, entails the identification and the removal of barriers to growth. that lead to success attainment.
How the hell do you label someone like this? I don't think you can. And that's what typically gives Renaissance Souls frustration, is that everyone else typically fits into a nice title, a nice package with very defined roles, whereas we end up feeling lost.
M is the word, multiplicity of interests, multiplicity of activities, and if you're fortunate, multiplicity of income streams that are generated, and then multiplicity of opportunities for getting the fulfillment that you may lack just doing one thing.
So if you're in the early stages of your career, or if you felt this urge to do multiple things, my advice to you is counter to a lot of people might tell you, which is explore them, try them. Don't say yes to everything, obviously, but if there's something that you feel you can offer a unique perspective, or you're willing to do the work to gain that new perspective, I say try it out. Doing so might just be the reason that you stand out from the pack and gain a competitive and even creative advantage. Being into many things is not a burden when you do so tactically. When you're able to pull perspectives and abilities and skills and let them go laterally across all the other ones, you're gonna start developing your own niche, your own unique perspective, and you might be what's called a linchpin, someone who's indispensable in the organization or your own business for that matter, because you've developed a wide set of skills that only you can do. All right, that's my rant on Renaissance Souls. If you like this video, please share it to someone who you think might be a Renaissance Soul. Leave a comment, tag them below. If you have any questions, leave them below. I'll happily answer every single one that I see. I hope this video helped you out in some way. Until next time, keep it pro.